excited to be here. This has been a great day so far. We're excited and humbled, and this has just been amazing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our story. We've been involved in network marketing for 29 years full time. And we originally got involved in network marketing at a time where Bobby had lost his picture frame factory to a bankruptcy. He had some large receivables that he did not get paid, so he could not pay others. It was at a time when we had just had our second baby, and we had a large mortgage, 2 car payments, we had a nanny in the house, and we were literally living on both our salaries. We spent 25 years with that first company. Did extremely well, and then out of the blue, got a phone call that they were closing that company just overnight, and that was our last check. It was a crazy, crazy emotional time, lots of calls, invites to look at other companies, but we did get a call from a corporate person at LifeVantage here, and they believed LifeVantage would be a good fit for us, and we decided to look. We had never heard of LifeVantage, even though we'd been in the industry. So we've been with LifeVantage now for 3.5 years. We had a really great first 2 years. We made Pro 7, we made Pro 8, we got our Jeep, we've made all the company trips, just so exciting. We even got to celebrate our Pro 8 party on the Cancun trip with our whole team. It was so beautiful. And then the pandemic struck, and our way of business kind of stopped. Not being able to do the in-person meetings put a halt to our business. Things were going really well into that pandemic. But most of our team is like us. They're empty nesters, and for the most part, they're professionals who really just enjoyed the human contact and loved doing the in-person meetings together. So we realized we had 2 problems. Now we had to figure out how to work online, because we all had lots and lots of contacts through the years and connecting through technology. We needed to keep our team working was the second problem that we had. The first day of the month is as important as the last day of the month. All 30 days are equally important. Every day through the pandemic seemed the same, sweatpants in the house, but Bobby really identified a really big problem for our team.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. How great have the speakers been today? I mean, they've just been amazing. And if you think that's good, you need to be a global and see it in person, because whatever you're getting today is times 10, okay? But I want to talk to you a little bit about change, because change is always going to be necessary in this business. Sometimes the change is small. Sometimes the changes are bigger. See, we were still living in New York when 9/11, when the terrorist attack happened. And after 9/11, the changes were big, okay? The 2008, 2009 financial crash. Again, the changes were big. And now we're all coming out of this pandemic. And guess what? Change is necessary again. And one thing I want to say about change, it's not good or bad. It's just life. It's how it is. Now, what we're going to share with you now, I want to be really specific and really honest with you. We're talking about our team, okay, the Wagner team. What we're sharing applies to us, and I want you to know there are so many teams in LifeVantage that already have all this stuff figured out, okay? But we didn't, okay? We didn't have it figured out. We had a Houston, this is the problem kind of moment, and it wasn't a good feeling. We had a hole in our boat, and we were out in the ocean. We didn't even know how it started. We didn't even know it got hit. We just figured sometime during the pandemic, something happened, but we had a leak, and we needed to fix it. It's funny, I had an opportunity to talk to Fred and Cassie the other night, and they probably didn't know I was going to say this, but they told us they recently discovered a leak in their beautiful new home. And I was listening to this story, and it was just a little leak in a corner somewhere, but you can bet they had a call for insurance, okay? See, a leak is a problem. And our problem with our team was with ITT. It wasn't working for our team. Our team's a little bit older than let's just say the average team, okay? And it just wasn't working for us, and it was very frustrating, okay? We were frustrated, the team was frustrating, and I'm like this, how hard could it be? Man, invite. Whether you do it with the product, with the business, with your personal testimony, and then the tool will share a video, okay? A Zoom, how hard is that? You got the ABC Primetime, you got the videos in the app. I mean, really, okay? But then you need to use your team to validate, okay, to answer questions. I'm thinking, wow, tell your story, use a tool, get your upline involved. A monkey could do this when they're sleeping, right? Yet it wasn't working for us. So frustrating. But you know, we had one of those moments. I call it a God moment. You're gonna love this one, okay? It wasn't until we were doing a power hour, and you gotta appreciate this. April still plays competitive tennis, and she was going off to a tennis match, and Bobby decided he is gonna do a power hour. Not really the best idea, because everyone on the Zoom was a woman. And see, April sometimes calls me frustrated Bobby. And that means I need to tone it down during chats and Zooms. And her office is on the 3rd floor of our house. I'm downstairs, and when she can hear me, she'll come down and say, you need to tone it down, okay? Well, she was going off to tennis, so I was gonna do what I was gonna do. We had simplified everything. We had a simple text that could be sent. We had a simple invitation that could be used for our launch Zooms. We had a very easy, duplicatable, simple message. Honestly, no thought required. We're on the power hour, okay? We pick a letter in our phone, that's the deal. Everybody picks a letter, and we're gonna send the invitations to everybody in that letter. I happen to pick W, okay? And it wasn't for Wagner, it was just W, okay? And just before we started, I said, everyone send me your message. Before we send it out, send it to me. And guess what? Half of the people on the power hour couldn't do it. We assumed everyone knows how to do everything, and we were wrong. They were either embarrassed, they were ashamed, they were scared to ask for help, and man, we felt awful. We love these people. It was a God moment for our team and a major lesson learned by us. See, the problem for our team was with inviting, what to send, how to send it, and how to use the technology that's now being used. So we were able to plug the hole in the boat, start pumping the water back out that we'd taken in, and get it turned around. And I'm gonna share some results with you in a minute, but we had a second problem, okay? And April's gonna tell you about that.
You know, the second major issue we had was actually working through the whole month. We realized that starting the month off fast and on the 1st, and keeping the momentum created from the end of the month was very, very important. Not waiting until the auto ships on the 5th before we started working again. All 31 days with the pandemic of being locked down and again being in sweats everything looked the same, every day looked the same. The greatest predictor of your future is your daily activity. We also needed to lead by example. We had to get our personal numbers up. We know we could not ask our team to do what we were not doing personally. So we hired a coach to help us figure out technology and systems, and we kept our group posted on the daily, weekly success of the group and the individual groups and just how everybody was doing. People will champion around a cause to be part of a team, and we're so proud of our team. But Bobby does a really great job of keeping us all on track with numbers and letting us know where we are day to day. He lets us know when we're down, and he lets us know when we're up, and it's a really good thing. It's funny how, you know, if you're not keeping track, you think things aren't happening fast enough, and I'm frustrated, but he can actually even me out by saying, you know, the volume is actually up, because sometimes personally it doesn't feel up. But our Facebook group also recognizes individuals for activities and productivities, and who doesn't love recognition? Maintaining a predictable and consistent training and meeting schedule was very, very important. We were taught and learned early on in our business never to cancel an event. We never want to even change times on anything unless it's absolutely necessary. We want our people to know the schedule like it is on the back of their hand. No thought required. You know, there was an early time in our career when we had a meeting scheduled in Baltimore. We were living in New York at that point. It was about a 5-hour drive. It was snowing heavily, and the host of that meeting called to cancel the meeting, saying he didn't think there would be any guests there. We said we were still coming, even if you're the only one there, we never cancel a meeting. So we made the trip. So the only other person to show at this meeting was a patient of the doctor who was doing the meeting, because if the patient gave his weight loss testimony, the doctor would give him free product. You know, he had an amazing testimony, so much so that because he changed his health concerns around so much, his son, also a doctor, got involved with us, and we earned a lot of money from that multi-million-dollar business that grew under that doctor for doing a meeting when probably everybody else would have canceled. But Bobby's going to share some results with you.
Isn't that a great story? You know, our mentor taught us early on in our career that leaders always take the blame for everything, and leaders always give others all the credit. And he taught us a mindset, and this has served us so well. In your mind and your heart, you need to believe and know that this business of LifeVantage is going to last forever. But you need to respect it by working it as if today is the last day. And all you have when today is over is all you're ever going to get. And that lesson, we've carried it with us for 29 years, okay? So it's time to look in the mirror, folks. Me and you, okay? We need to do some self-evaluation on how we can do better, and we can all do better. See, we need to never teach anything new to a team until you've proven it works yourself. See, we had a leak in our boat, and we needed to figure it out. We didn't know where it was, but we had to figure it out before we could teach anything. But the results have been really good, and we're very excited looking forward. You know, the last 6 months, we've gotten back on track. Our team is plus over 200 enrollments as compared to the previous 6 months, okay, before we made the adjustments. See, we figured out the problem and then started showing our team how to do what we were doing. Now, in 2020, April and I personally enrolled 55 people for the entire year. But after we made the adjustments, when that bonus pool started, do you know, we've enrolled 100 people since that bonus pool started. That's double, and in only 9 months. But the best news, the pace is picking up. Of those 100 new enrollments, 40 of them have come in the last 2 months. See, we showed our team it's not as hard as they thought it was. And the conversions are up too. Over 90% of those enrollments were customers, but in the last couple of months, they've started to upgrade to distributors, and we've seen the right behavior happen. But I'm going to close with this. I got a good story for you. Remember that Power Hour thing? Okay, well, Turk Wendell is a retired Major League Baseball player. He played for the Cubs for 5 years, played for the Mets for 5 years, and retired after he was with Philly for a little while. We had him on products back when he was with the Mets with our old company. And we had a little bit of a connection with him, but not much, but he retired in 2003. So Turk, his last name is Wendell, W, okay? He was in my phone, and we started sending out those invitations. And we have one rule on Power Hour. The rule is you can't skip anyone. No chicken list. Everyone means everyone. Well, I got to Turk, and I was chicken. Okay, and I realized, no chicken, I need to send him a message. And it had been a while, okay, since we'd done any sort of communication. Well, let me tell you, Turk is now enrolled in the business, and he will be sampling Axio to everyone he knows at the Major League Baseball player draft tomorrow. Okay, he just sent me a text. One of his Mets fantasy campers sent him a text, and he copied and pasted. I just ordered some of that drink mix. Quercetin caught my attention. My buddy is the assistant general manager of the Vancouver Canucks. That's an NHL team, if you didn't know. He said the whole team got hammered with COVID, except the players that were taking quercetin. So I've been taking 1 or 2 of those pills every day, and your Axio has quercetin in it, so I'm going to try it out. How cool is that? I almost didn't send him a message. See, you can evaluate your business and make adjustments just the way we did and figure it out and fix it just like we did. Now, one parting word. It is okay to not know. It is okay to be frustrated, but it is not okay to not ask for help. So if there's something in this business that you're struggling with and don't know how to do, text your sponsor or upline right now and say, I need your help figuring out something. Thank you all. We appreciate your time.